Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, then please do not continue to listen until after you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea podcast. Today, for Valentine's Day, or Valentine's Week, I should say, we are doing Warm Bodies. But first, before we do that, we need to show off the...
Sorry, you said I'm doing Warm Bodies.
Ew! You are a mess today. Like, I don't know what to do with you. Okay, well, while Jess is having a laughing fit, Brady was kind enough to get us sweatshirts for our 50th podcast episode. Thank you, Brady.
Thank you, Brady.
And then on the back, it says horror equals tea. So, very exciting.
We love them. Thank you.
Like, we both cried tears of joy.
It was so very sweet. Thank you.
Yes, it made it very special.
Yes.
Thank you very much. But Warm Bodies we are doing today. Yeah, you laugh. Yeah, I see you trying not to crack up. So tea that we are drinking. I am drinking the Yogi ginger tea today. What about you?
Getting all fancy. I am just drinking straight up sweet tea with lemon. I went southern today. It's all good.
You did. You're just in the mood today.
It's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah. But so the summary for those of you who don't know is a plague in the movie has left the planet's population split between those who have become zombies and those who are the surviving humans. And the movie kind of focuses around this zombie named R, and he, trying to find food, ends up coming across this girl named Julie, and he kidnaps her and brings her back to his living quarters. And anyways, it kind of creates a dynamic between them, and she eventually gets back to the human civilization, but they find out that love essentially cures the zombies. And drama ensues where her father doesn't believe that the zombies are being healed, and then R gets shot. And then Julie's like, he bleeds. And father's like, he does bleed. And then the movie comes to a nice conclusion that they're okay.
As he still bleeds.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the movie, he's about to die because he's bleeding so profusely. But no, I'm kidding.
No, they bring down the wall that they had been building, and there are two kinds of undead in this movie. There's the zombies, and there's what they call the bonies, which are really, really far gone zombies.
Skeletons with skin. Dried skin.
They look very skeletal, emaciated. Like all of their flesh is gone. So the zombies that were starting to turn human again were human adjacent. And the humans teamed up and ended up killing what bonies they could find, and the ones that they didn't fight against, that they couldn't find or whatever, just wasted away.
Yep, so there is a summary. And and so because we gotta make this awkward because we're At least especially
How
me.
we do.
I'd be an awkward person, so if this makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry, but you're welcome. But anyway.
Sorry, not sorry. That's how we are. You know this by now. This is
And what's crazy is if this is the first episode that anyone has listened to of us, we have gotten so less awkward since we started this podcast. Like the first couple of episodes, especially the first like 5, I cannot listen to. I can't listen to myself. It's just because we don't know how to introduce ourselves, and it's like at least now we're like, okay, we know how to introduce ourselves. We'll just accept that we'll sound awkward doing it. But anyways,
we're awkward. It's a thing.
we're introverts. We're socially awkward. But anyways, entertainment scale. So since you will probably end on a high note, I will go first. So I'm sorry, Jess. I know you really love this movie, and we both have watched the movie a few times, and we both have read the book. And I will say, Jess can probably give a little bit better of a review than I can, because it's been a good couple of years since I've read the book. But I did enjoy the book more than the movie. But anyways, this is a good movie. It's very enjoyable. I'm not really a romantic type of person though, so I am super picky on romantic movies. And like this movie was fine so far until they're like, it's love that heals the zombies. And I know it's
Technically it wasn't. It's what got him started, but technically it's not what cured all the zombies. Technically, they were learning to live again.
It's love that cures the zombies. But anyways, to me, this movie is like a 6.5. I don't know. It's like, I feel more homey a 6.5 than a 7, but it's like, it could go either way for me. Like 7 tops. But it's like, it is a cute movie, and I do enjoy watching it, but there are some like really cringy moments where it makes me just want to roll my eyes. But, you know, that's part of the charm of the movie too.
So, I will say that I really, really liked the book better than the movie. The book is a little darker than the movie. I like the darkness. But they only had so much time for the movie, so they couldn't delve too much into a lot of the story and everything, and they couldn't really flesh out like the airplane area, the airport, or anything that they had in the book, or the other deeper connections with some of the other zombies. So I do miss that, and the ending made a bit more sense in the book. A little bit. Her father went way more off the deep end in the book.
Yeah.
Than in the movie. But the zombies were also portrayed a bit better in the book, too. We'll get into some issues that I had in the realism scale as well. But on the whole, I really like this movie. It's quirky, it's different. Yeah. And for those of us that don't generally watch rom-coms or romantic movies, sappy movies like that, this is a really good compromise, I feel like. I generally have to feel in the mood to watch a friggin' romance movie. But you can find it anywhere. It's literally in almost every movie ever made. There's some kind of love interest somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's so abundant, I don't usually feel the need to go out and search for specifically a romance movie unless the fancy strikes me. This one has a decent storyline, but it does also have the romance factor. So, it's kind of a nice compromise. I find it hilarious how completely awkward he is. Like borderline cringy awkward when he's just staring at her in the airplane when she wakes up and immediately sits back like, oh wait, I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
Or when he walks in and you hear his thoughts, don't be creepy, don't be creepy, don't be creepy.
Yeah, his inner monologue is what makes the movie for sure. Like, if it didn't have that, it wouldn't be the same.
It's like 90% of why I love that movie. I really do. I want to give it higher, but I don't really think I can. So I'm going to give it a tentative 7.5.
Oh.
I would want to give it an 8, but it's not quite there. And part of that is like the issues that I'll bring up in the realism scale. Because you guys know me, and you know Alyssa, we're nitpicky. We got questions about things that don't make sense, and it detracts from the movie.
Well, and then kind of adding on to what you're saying, like I think the reason why the movie doesn't hit that much for me is I almost think of it as an alternative Twilight. Like they're like, oh, let's make all of these monsters like romantic characters. But I like one thing that this movie has that many other romance movies don't is the fact that it starts off from it's from the guy's perspective the majority of the time, and also the monster's perspective. And I mean, not only is from the male perspective a lot more interesting than normally it's from the female perspective, but also from a monster perspective where it kind of helps you better understand how the zombies operate. But also in a way, though, it kind of comes as a detriment to the scariness of them. But I mean, the movie's not necessarily trying to be scary, though.
Yeah, the movie's not. The book, again, has a lot more meat to it. Pun intended. And it's a bit more interesting in my opinion. And I think that's another reason why I can't really bring myself to give it a higher rating is because I've read the book. I did read it after I watched the movie.
Same.
Which I think helped.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just like the other 9 times out of 10, the book is better than the movie. I get it. You had a limited amount of time, and audiences favor a much lighter, happy ending. The book did have kind of a happy ending, but it was tainted a little bit.
Yeah.
By certain events. So, I get it.
It wasn't wrapped up all in a nice bow.
I get it. But at the same time, life is messy. Give us the messy ending. It made more sense. And it was so interesting to just see the dad go directly to madness.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But.
Yeah. But it is a very enjoyable movie. It's fun. It's quirky. You'll have a few laughs out of it. So if you don't want that's like too sappy with the love story kind of thing, this one's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So anything else you want to add before realism?
The CGI was decent. The effects, all things considered, the bonies were actually really terrifying. They could have made it a bit more terrifying if they had them actually like climbing the walls or scuttling on all fours. I have a really bad, mean mind. It's not kind in here. But I feel like as terrifying as that would be, it would really make a really good scene.
Yeah. Though
really up the terror factor in it.
To be honest, I wasn't too terribly impressed with the CG. Like, I mean, it was detailed and good CG, but I still was like, oh, it's CG.
Well, I mean, how can you not make a creature like that not CG?
I mean, animatronics or puppets.
I feel like if it was an animatronic or a puppet, it would be a little more jerky. They wanted it to have more smooth motion. Yeah,
but I wish I could think of an example, but there's a video that really explained it really well on how to make a CG character look real without it actually being real. But of course, since we're doing this on the fly, I can't think of the video or the instance. But yeah, it's fine whenever they're in the background, but whenever they're the focus, it just, you can tell it's fake, but it's whatever. I mean, the special effects in this film aren't, I mean, even the regular zombies aren't too terribly, don't have a lot of convincing makeup or anything. But
Well, I think that they probably did that more so, again, it's semi-family friendly movie.
yeah,
I mean, it's one of the most family friendly zombie movies there is.
that's fair.
You gotta give it that. There's far less gore than literally any other zombie movie ever.
Yeah, like especially whenever the boyfriend gets killed, like you don't really see it, but you just see
they cut away.
like you barely see even chunks of his brain as like Ara eats it.
Yeah, and it looks more not quite jelly, but something akin to it.
I want to know what they used.
I want to know too now, honestly. Like, it wasn't like Jell-O. It was kind of crumbly, but it wasn't like a cake or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a weird consistency, but it looked decent. It looked fairly realistic.
You know, that'd be kind of a fun profession to have. I wonder if that'd be considered like special effects or what.
Probably.
Yeah.
Props or special effects.
But how cool would that be to be like, okay, we need something tasty and edible, but it needs to look like brains.
With that consistency. Now, I feel like they did make it a bit more pink than it would have been, especially throughout the movie. Because the brain, even in the book, the brains were kind of decaying a little bit. They were decomposing in his pocket. Ew, I know. But, like, the memories he was getting were a little more fuzzy throughout the book. And they weren't quite as focused. But in the movie, they look pretty much the same every time he goes to eat a piece.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's just little details and things here and there that
kind of add up, but
a little bit.
Anyways, realism. Okay, so I'll go first because I don't really have a whole lot to add. I mean, we've all, from the 28 weeks later, we've kind of had our discussion about the zombie apocalypse, so I'm not going to harp on that too much, but I would probably give it a 3. And the reason why I would is the fact that a lot of the regular looking zombies aren't that decomposed looking. They look very whole. And they're like, whenever he was pitting the juices on Julie to cover her up from the other zombies, I'm like, I don't even know if that's old blood. It kind of looks like bile.
He touched his wound, and
okay,
and even in the book, it was his blood.
Okay, but I don't know. Just there's, even though on the whole, whenever you just like look and you're like, oh, that's a zombie, I feel like there's like extra elements missing, like their skin being like too taut and like perfect looking, like it needs to be more decayed. But you know, that this is really being nitpicky. I mean, as you said, it's one of the most family friendly zombie movies, so I think they probably intentionally did that. But that's why we call it a realism scale, because it's not about the filmmaker's ideas.
We already suspended reality for there being zombies and the next level bonies.
Yeah.
You're not getting that much out of us, guys.
Yeah, it's like even those are even less possible, because it's like, how the hell do you like move around with barely no muscles, just bone and skin? But anyways.
Yeah.
What would you give it?
So I think a 3 is fair. Again, I think one of the reasons why they didn't do as much effects and all for the decaying on the zombies is that they knew in the end they wanted most of them to change back to human. And if they look too rotted, it's not very plausible for them to go back to being human and be okay.
Yeah.
But to that end, I also say unto you that what about those that had multiple gunshot wounds to vital organs throughout their body? Like when they're doing the transformation scene of, putting makeup on R and everything to go talk to the dad. Points for hilarity, by the way, on the Pretty Woman song. You do see when he's like cleaning off and everything, different bullet holes and things. And Julie threw a knife at him earlier in the movie and hit him like in the sternum. So those wounds, did they just disappear? Do they heal after a while? Like that, it doesn't make sense as far as a zombie.
Yeah.
Those wounds remain and probably get worse. Like they're going to rot even further from those points. So, no.
Yeah, it's like either they would have to, either the wounds would have to disappear, which is like explain movie, or they would have to heal, which is like, as you said, if it was hitting vital organs, would you suddenly then just drop down and bleed to death? Or would you just like drop down dead from, being a zombie? But that would take care of like if you were too rotted or whatever and you were suddenly miraculously like regenerated, then that would take care of that as an issue.
Either way, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
It's a cute idea, and we did enjoy the movie and the book even more so. But no, on the realism.
No, yeah.
No.
This is not very realistic at all.
This is just for funsies. I do feel like in the movie, when they realize he's bleeding from the gunshot wound profusely into the pool of water, that's probably been sitting there for God knows how long, untreated. Rather clear, by the way, which I also call bull on. They don't immediately get him out. He's waiting there, bleeding into the water for a good while before one of the soldiers finally hesitantly goes over there to help them out of the water.
Yeah, well, and then they don't even seem to really be giving him medical attention.
No, none. That's what I was going to mention next. There's no one rushing. There's no one going, get a medic over here. I need a med kit, something. No. Let's keep pressure on the wound. No. You see him still holding it with his hand in the truck in the next scene. And the dad asks, "Are you still bleeding?" Yes. But no, it's fine. I don't need gauze or anything. My hand will do the trick. This is fine. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind bleeding out in your back seat and becoming a zombie again. Start up this whole thing all over again.
Yeah, I wonder if you could become a zombie a second time. I kind of need to know. How many times can you become a zombie?
Is it just one resurrection per person?
Or is it like cats where you get 9?
Until you get a headshot. Just unlimited res until you get a headshot.
Yeah. That's funny.
So, I don't know. They also made it a point, and we could analyze book to movie all day long, especially with this one. But I do feel like they missed an opportunity in the movie. In the book, they did make a very big point to say corpses, which are the zombies, cannot run. They are slow. They walk. They shamble. They don't run. Bonies can run, but there's something other, kinda.
Yeah.
But again, the book delves more into that kind of thing than the movie does. The movie barely even touches on it. But in the movie, the zombies seem to run just fine.
Yeah, yeah. They're speedy.
Like, it's almost, not quite, but almost World War Z level of zombie run. So I feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity there. And they can't really be clumsy and run. Like, it's pick one. Pick one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And the other big issue I take with this movie, the big issue, is the giant flaw in their security that the kids keep leaving and no one knows. One, the soldiers don't know about it. Seriously? Really? Two, the kids use it multiple times and there's no security breach ever.
That's a big spot, too. Like, how do you not? Yeah.
Big, fat bullcrap on the security breach.
I don't want to picture that.
Big steamy pile of it.
No.
Because there would be breaches all the freaking time. All the time. If they can smell humans and they can follow trails and all that the humans have been nearby, then you can't tell me that one of those times the kids snuck out through that stadium area that not a single goddamn zombie didn't follow them back.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
That's a very good point.
Bullshit on you. Bullshit on your cow. Bullshit.
But overall, this is a super cute movie. It has its dumb moments, but I mean, what romance movie doesn't? Let's be fair. But
I think we all deep down like a little bit of awkwardness.
But it's like it's a really good like change the pace type of movie because there's really not a lot of like zombie romance, if any. Like I think this is the only zombie romance movie that there is.
Yeah. There wasn't exactly romance with the zombie in the last movie we reviewed.
Nope. Just death.
Yep.
But, well, tell us how you guys liked the movie, and did you find it super cheesy? Did you think that the way that the zombies were able to become human again, if that was silly to you, or if you thought it was a neat idea, like what you would do?
And let us know if you read the book, too.
Yes.
The book was really good. I kind of want to reread it, because it just had so much more to it.
Yeah, if you guys haven't read the book, I think it's worth it. It's still
Worth it.
It's still got the cutesy mood of the movie, but it's got a lot more contrast of like dark elements and then the lighter elements. For sure.
Yes, and she does still, I did forget to mention this earlier, Julie does start off like she did try to kill him. Like, she does throw a knife, both in the book and in the movie, when she runs out of bullets. So, kudos on that realism there. She doesn't, like, straight up go right into, oh, this one's cute. I think I kind of like him, kind of thing. No. They did a pretty decent job of that. Like, at first, she was very, very scared of him. Like, he's gonna eat me any minute now. I'm gonna die. This is it. This is how I die. And then it turns into, what the hell is he? Like, he's not acting like all of the other ones. This is weird. Why is he different? Why is he hoarding all these random things? And me in this plane? Like, it's just a little off. He's talking. It's just kind of out there, and she's trying to figure things out, and it slowly develops into, yeah, I kind of like him. It's still very hesitant and all.
Yeah.
But it's a really good book. It's really good. And I'm glad that they at least portrayed a good bit of that in the movie.
Yeah. Though I guess they never really explained why R is so different from the others? Because the others really are a lot more of your typical like wandering zombie, while he actually has his little home and his little knickknacks that he collects.
Yeah, I can't remember if they touched on that in the book, like exactly why. I know from what I can recall in the book, he tends to eat the brain more often than most of the other zombies, from what I can recall, which is what gives you the memories and things, which
Yeah.
might be why he kept craving those feelings and things, and why he was triggered first.
Maybe.
That's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure because it's a fictional story, so we can only speculate because we're not the author.
And maybe even the author wouldn't know. He just like,
I don't know, but it's a completely different kind of story. I love what he did with it, and I just love the world that he created with it. It's awesome. So if you guys have been in that world too, if you've read that book, let us know so we can get a discussion going.
yeah.
It's a great story. It's fun.
And happy Valentine's Day. Even all of those single people out there, still a happy Valentine's Day. Have a Valentine's Day for yourself. Like, I like the idea of a self-care day. Like, give yourself a hot bath, light candles, have like soothing music in the background.
A little bit of wine.
Yeah.
Enjoy, guys.
Yep.
And if you have any other recommendations or anything for this month or next month, please, of course, let us know. Thank you again, Brady. We love them. They're awesome and very comfy. And until next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye.